Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and if you hear any sounds in the background, I'm very sorry. And if you guys are about to title, I'm gonna watch something scary by the one and only Snowworld. And I love this YouTube channel, but it scares the doo-doo out of me. But let's just watch it, so I can scare you guys too. And you just go subscribe to her because she doesn't just post something scary. By the way, it's 9:54 and I'm doing this video, which is scary. Okay, but let's just go on. And I'm sorry I haven't been posting. Yeah.
There's something dangerous abducting children in this area.
Oh.
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary?
I love that.
You've heard of the Slender Man, but have you heard of the tall, slender woman? This next chapter is a Japanese urban legend called Hachishaku-sama, which means 8 feet tall. My grandparents lived in a small village in Japan. Every summer, my parents would take me there on holiday to visit them. The last time I saw them was the summer when I was 8 years old. My grandparents were inside the house, and I was playing by myself outside in the backyard. I heard a strange sound. I didn't know what it was, and it was hard to figure out where it was coming from. I was looking around, searching for the source of the noise, when I noticed something on top of the tall hedges that enclosed the backyard. It was a straw hat. It wasn't resting on the hedge, it was behind it. That's where the sound was coming from. Then the hat began to move. It stopped at a small gap in the hedge, and I could see a face peering through. It was a woman, but the hedges were high, almost 8 feet tall. I was surprised at how tall the woman was. I wondered if she was wearing stilts or some sort of huge high-heeled shoes. Then, a split second later, she walked off, and the strange noise disappeared with her, fading into the distance. Confused, I got up and ran back into the house. My grandparents were in the kitchen drinking tea. I sat down at the table and told my grandparents what I had seen. They weren't really paying attention to me until I mentioned that distinctive sound. They both froze. Grandma's eyes grew wide and she covered her mouth with her hand. Grandpa's face became very serious and he grabbed me by the arm. "This is very important," he said, very intensely. "How tall was she?" "As tall as the garden hedge." "Where was she standing? When did this happen? What did you do? Did she see you?" I tried to answer all his questions as best as I could. He rushed out to the hallway and made a phone call. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but after he hung up, he walked out the door. "Grandma, what's going on?" "There's something dangerous abducting children in this area," she said. "We call it Hachishaku-sama. It takes on the appearance of an extremely tall woman and says, in a deep voice. A long time ago, it was captured by monks and they managed to confine it in a ruined building on the outskirts of the village. They trapped it using forge Izo. Small.
If there's a lady, maybe not a lady, but like someone who's taking over a 8-foot tall lady, why would you let your granddaughter play outside? Why would you even let her go visit you? Okay.
All religious statues that they place at the north, south, east, and west of the ruins.
By the way, I'm not hating on her. I love her very much.
So that it could not escape. But somehow, it did. The last time it appeared was 15 years ago. My grandmother said that anyone who saw it
Sorry about that.
die within a few days.
Die.
It all sounded so crazy. I wasn't sure what to believe. Just then, my grandpa came back, but with an old woman who called herself Kei-san. They took me upstairs to my bedroom and began covering the windows with newspaper, with ancient runes written all over them. Kei-san placed small bowls of salt in all 4 corners of the room and a small Buddha figure in the center.
"Soon the sun will be setting, so listen carefully. You must stay in this room until 7:30 tomorrow morning. Do not open this door for any reason."
She placed a bucket in my hands.
"Not even to use the restroom."
My grandparents and Kason left the room, and I locked the door after them. I couldn't believe what was happening. Was I really going to die in a few days? I turned on the TV to try to take my mind off everything, and eventually fell asleep. I was awakened around 1 a.m. by a tapping sound on the window. It's probably just a tree or something, I told myself. Then came a knock on the door, and I heard my grandpa's voice. Are you okay in there? If you're scared, I can come keep you company. Hearing his voice was such a relief that without thinking, I rushed over to the door. But something didn't feel right. I looked at the bowls of salt in the room. All 4 of them had turned black. And then I heard the sound again.
Hold up, guys, hold up. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let's just go on to the video.
The tapping on the window continued. I knelt in front of the Buddha and began to pray. I was so terrified and caught up in my chanting that I didn't realize the sounds had stopped. I checked my watch. It was 7:30 a.m.
Wait, what? How? Oh, wait. Sorry.
Carefully,
At what? That take like 6 hours? 6 hours, silly? Okay.
I opened the door and ran to my grandparents. We all got in a van and headed straight for the airport. Apparently, there were others who had escaped the grasp of Hachisaku-sama, as long as they never stepped foot in Japan again. So 2 years ago, when my grandpa got sick, he refused to let me visit him. He even left strict instructions in his will to not let me attend his funeral. I couldn't believe that this creature prevented me from saying goodbye to him. So when my grandma called a few days ago to tell me she had been diagnosed with cancer, I wasn't going to let her stop me from visiting. It's been 10 years, Grandma, and nothing has happened to me. We don't even know if this thing is real. I'm not going to let it stop me from seeing you. If you say so, dear. I love you, Grandma. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Oh, hell no.
Like this video if it gave you the
Let's watch
chills.
another
And don't
video.
forget to subscribe
This
to
is the
Snarl
video
and our sister
that
channel.
says, I'm enough. This is it.
Hearty, hefty
This is the cause of not the
breakfast. And when you finish,
I cannot speak right now. I have a gum. Okay. So they're making a movie about it. It's called The Cause of the I can't wait to see it. Me and my sister want to see it really badly. Oh, spooky.
A long time ago, in a rural village in Mexico, lived a young woman named Maria. She came from an impoverished family, but was known
Maria.
throughout the village for her beauty. One day, a wealthy nobleman was riding through the village and stopped in his tracks. He had traveled all over the world, but had never seen anyone quite like Maria. He knew he had to win her over. Maria was easily charmed by this smooth-talking man and accepted his immediate proposal of marriage.
What? Wait, what? A guy stops inviting you, and then smooth talks you, and then he says, "Oh, do you want to get married?" And you say, "Yeah." What? Wait, what? Okay, don't curse me. Don't come for me. Don't come for me.
Maria's family was thrilled that she'd be marrying such a wealthy man, but the nobleman's arrogant father would not be so excited about this arrangement. So the nobleman built Maria a house in the village where they could be together without his father's knowledge. She eventually gave birth to 2 twin boys.
Oh.
The nobleman traveled a lot and left Maria in the house with the boys most of the time. At first, he brought many gifts back from his trips and was a devoted husband. But every time he left and came back, he grew colder and more distant to Maria, to the point where he would only give the boys his attention. Maria began to suspect that he was falling out of love with her, since she was getting older and was not as beautiful as she used to be. Years later, her husband stopped returning home. Maria was devastated. She really did love him. Rumors began to spread around the village, and Maria's reputation was tainted.
What a
Even
whore.
more years had passed.
What a whore.
Maria was walking with her children along
My
the
God,
river
what a whore.
when a familiar horse-drawn carriage pulled up beside them. It was her ex-husband, but sitting next to him was a beautiful young woman wearing very expensive clothing. The nobleman greeted the children and made it very obvious that he was intentionally ignoring Maria. It was clear to her now why he had left. He had found a younger, wealthier woman, one that his father would be proud of. They rode away, leaving Maria in complete shock. How could he disrespect her like that? She was angry and humiliated and brokenhearted all at once.
Oh,
Without thinking,
God.
she hurled her young boys into the raging water. It wasn't until she saw their floating bodies downriver that she realized what she had done. Distraught, she threw herself in too, in hopes that she could be reunited with them in the afterlife. However, that was not the case. Maria had committed the ultimate sins, murder and suicide. So now she is forced to roam the earth between the physical and spiritual worlds, forever searching in vain for her children. She is called La Llorona, the Weeping Woman. To this day, people claim to see her by the river at night. When you hear her cries, take it as a warning and run. If she approaches you, she will bring you bad luck and misfortune. Children must be extra careful. She might confuse you for one of her own. And when she realizes that you are not her son, she will throw you into the river. Beware the cries of La Llorona.
Ooh, that's spooky. Oh my god, I'm gonna take out my gum again. Okay. Well, that'd be it for today. And if you guys liked it, please like it. Like this video. So I haven't done this one. Like the video and comment what you want me to do next. And that's it. Bye bye.